Hey, this is Ted's Hospitality Minute. This is Ted Kelly. Today I've got a special guest, actually part B special guest, Warren Aston with HFS Concepts 4. He's going to come back and talk a little bit about what's going on since our last visit and give us an update. I know he's got some great projects that I've seen posted lately with some beautiful pictures, so I know they're busy. Warren, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thanks, Ted. Good to be here. I'm great. How about yourself?
I am doing well, man. Just trying to stay safe and survive this COVID-19.
What a world we're in. Listen, it's been a lifelong dream of mine to do a TED Talk. And now, in the course of a few weeks, I've been able to do it twice. So this is just a dream come true, Ted. Really. Thank you for having me.
I think you're famous now.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think so too. In my house.
But how are things out west?
Yeah, it's amazing. Listen, it's amazing how in the course of a few weeks, everything has changed in a drastic way. Clearly in the sense of business, for us, it's improved, and there's no other way of putting it. We've picked up new projects. We've had many hotel owners that have come to us really kind of in that state of realizing that it's the perfect time to complete that renovation on their hotel. We've actually had a few that have quite literally said those words and figured out how to get funded.
Wow.
Understood that it's a necessity for them to set up their property, to improve their property for
Right.
when we're truly out of this thing and the travelers start flowing back in.
Yes.
And we've picked up some big projects recently.
Wow.
It's exciting.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I was just reading where a lot of the brands, or it seems like some of the brands are extending some of the pips for some of the owners. So
Yeah.
for you to have folks coming in and wanting to go ahead and get their projects done, again, timing is perfect to do it if you've got the money and the means to get it done.
Right.
They are sounding like they are allowing, I want to say 18, 24 months extension on some pips. So for you to have an audience of guys that recognize, which is, one of the topics we talked about earlier was that, hey, if
Mhm.
you've got the means, this is a great time to execute a pip because you can get it done half the time and move through it like with the greatest of ease. So it's
Right.
excellent that you guys have got folks coming and banging on your door.
I'd also say it's not just with the greatest of ease, it can get done even faster, and all of those things are a big benefit. Just like I said a second ago, I think that the big benefit is how are you going to set yourself apart from your competition that's next door to you, right? Most of these hotels are on a street that's lined with competition.
Right.
If they hadn't completed a renovation, and it's overdue, then clearly the question is once the travelers really begin to start flowing, and it's amazing how the percentage of stays are starting to grow, especially from Memorial Day weekend and what's coming down the pipe, with the summer and so forth.
It's the kickoff of summer, right? Memorial Day
Yeah,
week.
yeah. I mean, how are you going to set yourself apart? And that's the big thing. But just to address your point, yeah, the brands have offered deferrals, understandably so. I totally get it. And again, listen, we can sit here and say now's the best time to renovate, and there is no question it is the best time to renovate.
Yes.
Obviously, for the hotel owner, it's going to entirely depend on whatever position they're in
Right.
financially and and what's smart for them to do, and that's understandable as well. But if they are in a position to renovate their hotel, it's so smart for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
And listen, a couple of the projects that we picked up, and it's funny you bring up the brand and deferrals. Hey, that's absolutely what they've done. 2021 they've now pushed due dates to,
Wow.
and that means 2021 is going to be a very busy year. But for the clients that I have that have recently come to us, and again, they're all over the map. They're either the full scope of turnkey project, or I recently just picked up a project that was specifically procurement. And I think that what we'll find is that a lot of these hotel owners are realizing, even though the brand is saying, hey, we can defer these times, we can defer these due dates, what they seem to be realizing is, well, that's fine. And at least I know I can lean on that.
Yes.
Right. But unless I improve my hotel so that I am the competition to those that are next to me,
Right.
as
Right.
opposed to vice versa, it puts them in a position that they've got to get it done and done quickly.
Yeah. And that's a real good point. And especially if some of these guys can get some of the supposedly funding that I saw was coming up for some of the hospitality folks, if you can get it done and get some funding to kind of help stabilize your operation,
Yeah.
it does make sense to go ahead and do that, because you're right. I wasn't thinking about it so much from that perspective,
Right.
as much as from the perspective of how to execute getting it done. But when folks do travel again, guess what? They are going to really be looking for, the cream de la cream, the nicest
Yeah.
place they can stay at. And obviously, I think the other component of that then becomes, okay, how does that hotel that looks great, how are you going to convince that guest that you're taking all the necessary extra precautions
Mhm.
to clean, sanitize, disinfect, well enough for them to, like, you know what, when I'm in Tucson, I'm going to stay there because I saw what these guys are doing on a daily basis, or I see what they're doing, gives me the utmost confidence, and it's a new hotel in their eyes. So
Absolutely.
that's going to
I
be a
mean,
big seller.
Ted, listen, I mean, if we're talking about the difference between, if we let's stay brand related for a second, but if I had a choice right now to take my family to go stay at a Hilton Garden Inn that was renovated a week ago, so it's modern, it's clean, it looks hip, it's awesome, versus their top-notch Hilton, which is right next door, that hasn't been renovated for 7 years and it's dated, no matter what, either hotel, I'm going to get a better rate than I could 4 months ago anyway. It's probably going to be fairly equal. In fact, the Hilton Garden Inn is going to be less expensive, and it's modern and it's newly done and it's going to be nicer to stay in. So that's the one I'm probably going to pick, even though historically I'd stay at a Hilton. And I think that's a good example.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for a hotel owner to stay a cut above from their competition if they want the travelers to come to them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, out west in California, are you guys starting to relax some of the restrictions yet? Are you guys seeing things starting to kind of loosen up, or how's the environment in terms of letting people get out a little bit?
There aren't a lot of people that seem to be relaxed in California. That's what, but at least I can look at the beach. It's nice. No, the restrictions are happening. Sorry, the restrictions are loosening, is what I should
Yeah.
say. We are, again, at this very moment, we're working on brand new stuff that we've just picked up, and we're also working on some projects that have continued throughout this climate. And it's necessary in our role to be able to drive to that facility and tour the property and walk it and meet with owners and managers and so forth. So, a few months ago, that was out of the question. At this point in time, it's fairly open.
Great.
We're definitely in a place where we're getting back to, I hate saying the words back to normal, but we are back to having the ability to do the things that are needed to work.
The new normal.
Right, to get back to normal.
Yeah. So you mentioned an interesting word there. You said drive to your project. So is that pretty much the kind of the proximity of the projects that you guys are working on? I'm
No,
assuming
no,
you're
no.
traveling. Are you guys flying?
Oh yeah, yeah. So we have teams that have been flying. I mean, in fact, we have a team that's going to be in Virginia this next week. We were just in Oklahoma City. We flew to Ohio, to Dublin, Ohio, wrapping up a big conversion there. We were also in Madison, Wisconsin recently. Again, I mean, all of this is in the course of, I'd say, the last few weeks that
Wow.
our teams have been traveling. It's not on a regular basis. It's
Right.
really, we need a day or two at the property, depending on what it is that we need to do, and wrap it up from there. But yeah, our teams are traveling. We've just wrapped up a big property. You mentioned it, Tucson Marriott
Great.
University Park. We just wrapped up a big Marriott in Madison as well, Madison, Wisconsin. We're in Dublin, Ohio. We are at DoubleTree Conversions. We just picked up another DoubleTree actually out here in our area. A big Hilton that's in Virginia. We're all over the place.
And
And
didn't you guys just complete a project, or you guys may be still working on it here in Greenville, right? You guys are working on a.
yeah, so we're doing the Hilton Greenville,
Okay.
which is still in the works. We also just completed in your area. We completed the Embassy Suites Cary, although that's kind of the other end. But
North Carolina. Okay.
Embassy Suites, the Raleigh Durham Research Triangle in
Yeah.
Cary. We're working on a timeshare that's in where is that?
South Carolina.
Also in South Carolina. Yeah, Myrtle Beach.
Hilton Head. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're at a few properties in Florida. We're in Georgia. We are truly almost every single state still working on projects. Now, a bunch of our projects got put on hold. We talked about that.
Right.
Um,
Right.
And slowly but surely, we've actually now had a couple that have released that hold, and we're back to business. So it's awesome. It's great.
Man, that is excellent. Sounds
Yeah.
like somebody's going strong.
Yeah, I mean, and I can only say it's because of my original TED Talk. It has to be. It was that little plug I threw in there where I said, "Hey, when you need the work done, hire us."
Well, we're definitely glad to hear that things are moving along and
Right.
things are improving for you guys. And we appreciate you giving us a few minutes to come back and do part two. And obviously, it sounds like things are always hopping out there. So, who knows? I may be catching up with you again just to see what's happening since the last time we chatted, because it seems like you're always moving and shaking out there. But we definitely appreciate you giving us a few more minutes. And we'll catch up again soon. And I hope you stay well and business continue to do well.
You do the same, Ted. Listen, anytime I'll connect with you. TED Talks are awesome. I'll do a trilogy with you. Really, I'm good with it.
All right, brother.
I
Thank you so
appreciate the
much.
opportunity.
Hey, this is another Ted's Hospitality Minute. Thanks for your time today. You guys have a great day, a great week. Take care.